Hi, Anirudh here, and today I'm actually going to talk to you about the AI Sales Coach. AI Sales Coach helps you devise performance plans based on the analysis and your performance for the quarter, and then actually make sure you're following up and improving month on month and even by the end of the year. So let's jump straight into it. So imagine you have a sales manager trigger, which basically means it's updating the platform to say, okay, I want information about my specific rep. So it goes to the rep ID and then it gets information about that individual from Salesforce, from Slack, from Tableau, wherever your information about the deals are sitting. So it could also be potentially a HubSpot. Then it goes into the data orchestration agent. The orchestrator agent collects all this data and creates a tabulation or a format so that it's very readable and can be understood by the user. That agent next goes to the performance analysis agent, where it actually analyzes based on benchmarks on how a rep should be doing compared to its team, or also based on the company performance. Once that analysis is done, it goes into a comparative mode with the goal setting system that's been done for the rep. And then from there, creates a learning plan or a coaching plan for that specific rep. And then every time there's back and forth with the agent on how that person is learning, that information keeps going back as a data loop to the data orchestration agent. So what I showed you right now is obviously like a really nice workflow diagram, but let's actually get into this if this was powered completely by Lyzr on the back end. And then you had a really beautiful UI UX built by, let's say, Lovable or a Bold or a rep. What we have right now is a sales coaching dashboard. This shows you, imagine like I'm a sales manager and then I'm seeing the performance of each of my employees, as well as if me as an individual want to see my own performance. So here what you see is number of cycles or coaching cycles that's been done, right? This is essentially the flow that I showed you in the previous diagram that's placed here at the bottom. How often are they achieving their goals and what the ROI is on the coaching. Then I have performance analytics. This might be the most important piece in terms of how an individual is performing. What's the total pipeline? Where are they in the qualification stage? And how are each of them performing across the team? How many of them are your top performers? How many of them are your average performers? And how many of them actually need some improvement? And actually, is that performance improving time over time? Finally, you have a coaching style, which is essentially the workflow diagram. And then you have the agent performance. This is more observability of how each of the agents that come together, how quickly are they responding, how efficient are they in terms of getting this info, and how often are you calling these agents, right? So the total request is actually you making a request for every agent. And then finally, the status and metrics associated with it. And then finally, the big picture is the KPI monitoring. Is this whole thing really working for you? Are they achieving the goals? Is there an ROI on the coaching, right? And what are the trends over time in terms of the KPIs? And finally, if there's any learning insights, right? So if you wanted to build something out like this internally for you and customize this using your data and your tools, definitely reach out to us at Lyzr and help you get agentic end to end.
Build safe and responsible agents. Introducing Lyzr.